So I've been contacting Sweetwater Stu to get that damn
On
microphone
Facebook.
in,
Yeah.
and Sweetwater. It's been taking them like a freaking month and a half to get the shit to me, and they finally started contacting me, apologizing for how horrible the service has been.
You got to get
But
in touch
but
personally.
well, I did, and the people who apparently it's the people who create the stuff. They're so far behind because of all the
Yeah.
COVID shit. You know.
All right, we're live, boys. We're live.
Oh, nice, 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 nice.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up? Maybe I should close out real quick and go to the Facebook so I can share it.
There you go. All right, guys. I have the boys here from Defy The Tyrant. I have Stuart and I have Ian. Those guys are
Yeah.
amazing, super cool, funny as hell. You guys be ready to laugh because we're gonna
I'm
go
ready.
crazy tonight. All right, they're from Tallahassee. And when did you guys form the band? Nice size, buddy.
Thank you.
When
See,
you
when did
guys
we
form
form the band?
It was like 2016, early 2016.
Nice.
Ian and the other guy, well, Ian and Slim were there before I was, and they had a couple other guys that aren't no longer with the band, but they had like one gig without me, and then I joined up, and then we had to get Dilly and Kurt later on, but then everything after that was pretty much
Nice.
It was kind of funny because we played the gig. It was a decent gig for a very first gig, and Stu was in the audience, and he was invited by mutual friends, and then we sat down. The next practice, the old singer and Slim sat me down, like, Ian, we love you, man, and you're really good. But this guy's a really good lead guitar player. We don't want you quitting the band because we're bringing him on. And I was like, fuck you guys. Fine, I've got nowhere else to go.
Now look at you guys now. You guys are like a couple on stage.
I mean, now he practices a lot. At first, I was so much better than he was, but
yeah.
he caught up.
He caught up. He overpassed you. Oh boy, you guys on stage are crazy, man. Before we go on the questions, I want to share this with everybody. We had a chance, I think it was last year, here at the Verona. Yeah. You guys were the opening act and the headliner. I'm sorry, and we opened up for you guys, and I stayed there, man, and I felt like I was in a place like a full huge stage. Stage was tiny, but you guys were like really caught my attention to the point that I had to listen to all the songs. I mean, the whole band moves. You guys perform. I mean, there's such a good chemistry with you guys that, I mean, whoever watches, you'll fall in love with you guys. And I don't want to kiss anybody's ass. It's true. I really dig it, man. So you got a fan since then.
Oh man, thanks, Regis.
I mean. So I read something that you guys went through 4 vocalists before you guys got Kurt. 3 or 4, something like that.
I mean, if we're gonna be honest, we went through 2 real vocalists, and then
I know where you're going with that.
Guys. Yeah, we went to 2 real vocalists, Kurt being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
We only play gigs with people that are in the band now, and then Terrell. So there's 3.
Okay. Yeah. Terrell's is the original drummer, and then our original singer left, and we played 1 show with Terrell, 1 or 2 shows, 3 shows with Terrell, 3 shows with Terrell as singer. Yeah, and then I did 1 show. No, I did 2 shows actually, because I think because I did 1 in Tallahassee, and then I did 1 in Jacksonville. And I did okay, but my vocals aren't meant for our band. My vocals are meant more for like a hardcore punk, like kind of style. I'm not clean enough vocally, and Terrell's not meant to be as aggressive as we can get. So I don't. And then Kurt was talking with Slim, and I've known Kurt for like 10 years, doing local bands together. And to be quite honest with you, I didn't know if Kurt's vocal styles would fit with the band because they're very unique. He's got a very unique voice,
Yeah.
and uh, just between the how heavy he can get and how clean he can be, and the overall tone he has, and I didn't know, and I was concerned. I was like, man, I like Kurt. I don't want to bring him in and then it doesn't work out. But he came in, he switched a couple things up, and we switched a couple things up, and it worked out great.
Yeah, you guys sounded good, man. It's a good fit. You know what I mean? The whole band. Um, what style do you guys will call yourselves? Like no metal, heavy metal, metal.
What's the word you used, Ian? Uh,
Oh, pussies.
yeah.
Oh, okay,
No,
that works.
I can't remember the word.
There was, I don't know. I've been doing a lot of these interviews recently for podcasts and radio stations and things like
Right.
that. And since the album came out,
I
and
almost
each
feel like the
one,
listener should decide, you know?
huh?
I almost feel like the listener should kind of be the one who could
This yes
determine.
decided. Yeah.
Regis, what do you think we sound like? There
I
you
will
go.
call it a little bit more of a new metal, a little
Yeah,
on the
I
heavy
guess.
side. You know what I mean?
There are some very obvious new metal and post grunge
Right.
kind of influences. But then we have songs like Upside Down, which are very like classic metal
Right.
sounding. And
Mm.
then I don't know. We were talking with the Pavement, the label.
Mm-hmm.
We were emailing back and forth recently about the radio pushes and things like that. And because of the heavier parts that we have in our songs, even though some of our songs are pretty light. Oh man, I need a beer.
Cheers, bro.
There you go. Do you allow smoking in this podcast as well?
Do whatever you want. Be yourself, man.
Oh
Be
my
your...
god, I need to go get my fucking. All right. Um. Anyway, so he pretty much he's like, look, man, you guys, you're classified as metal because of how heavy we are sometimes.
Right.
But because even though we have some songs that are kind of radio centric, and then we have other songs that are just completely out there. But yeah, overall, yeah,
I
you
think
can call us like metal,
Brett
I
Hesley
guess.
used the term power metal.
Say it again.
Brett Hesley, I heard him say the term power metal.
Power metal. That's a
Power
good one.
metal. Who are some power metal bands?
There you go.
I don't know.
Get
I don't
Google
even.
going.
I've
Get
kind of
Google
lost
going.
track of all these different genres sometimes.
They're mashing so much and they're like so close to each other that you get confused. I will call you guys like hardcore with a new metal. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
really
because
like
yeah,
it.
you can hear that hardcore in Kurt's voice, and I bring that classic rock feel and
Right.
bluesy undertones. And Kurt, I mean, Ian is like just, he's progressive. I think fairly progressive. Like Mark Tremonti influence.
Uh-huh.
All that like
Cool.
some
Pretty.
prog.
Well, what's the whole band influences that you guys, let's say if you guys were writing a song right now and you would say, well, we need to pull a vibe from one of our favorite bands. So there's 5 of you guys. What would be the style, the influence that you guys will pull from?
Ooh. We don't write like that really. So that's kind of a weird scenario to think about. Well, man.
Slim wants to make it sound like a good Seven Dust inspired band.
Seven, yes, yeah. Slim definitely wants either a Seven Dust feel or a Slipknot feel, or what's that other band that everybody likes that's absolutely horrible? um,
Five Finger Death Punch.
I'm about to get destroyed for saying it. I
Five
don't
Finger.
know. Oh no, Five Fingers fair game. They're so big. No, Deftones.
Okay.
I hate the Deftones, man. I don't get it. I never have gotten it. I get people love them, but I don't. I've never understood why people love the Deftones. But I love
Huh.
Creed, so
Well,
what kind of musical options do I have? That new Nickelback single is fire.
you like that, huh?
I don't know how
That
to
cover
figure
they did.
You're gonna get in trouble, yeah. You're gonna get in trouble.
I've
what
lost
is it.
all my metal
I haven't
cred.
heard it yet.
Oh,
Nickel.
they did a badass cover filled with sweeps and taps
Huh.
of "Devil Went Down to Georgia."
Oh yeah.
It sounds real. Like I was surprised how good it sounded.
I don't
Shit.
remember who I talked to when we played last year together, and I think I was talking to Kurt, and you guys said something to me like, Regis, since your band is starting, we play everywhere, anywhere, to one person, to 1,000 people if we have to.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And the same night, somebody said to me, "I've watched these guys play for a packed house, and the same way they're playing this small place with 10 people watching, the same performance you see they're performing in front of 1,000 people." And that, dude, that spoke volumes. So, and that night I saw that, so that was really cool.
It's a testament to all the practice, really.
Yeah,
It's a
it was.
lot of
I mean,
fucking
you got to
practice.
put it in, man. You get in it what you put out of it, or
Right.
you get in or get out what you put in. I'm not bad.
True
How
story.
often do you guys practice, by the way, on a normal
Two to,
situation?
well,
2 to 3 times ideally a week.
we like to do 2 to 3 times a week, but we were practicing 2 times a week for 2.5 to 3 hours of practice, and we were playing shows every weekend for most of last year.
Right, I
You
remember
know,
that.
and when we practice, it got to a point. It's kind of been nice during the COVID thing because we've actually kind of started writing a lot more. But
Right,
most of last year, our 2.5 hour practices were running through our
everything.
set. No, it wasn't everything. We'd have a set that we set up that we knew, okay, this is our 35-minute set, this is our 45-minute set, and
Yeah.
we would run through it, and we would hit
Nice.
it like we were hitting a real show, and that's to a blank wall essentially.
I mean,
Right,
it takes a few shows to kind of figure out your flow of how you're gonna
right,
do a gig,
right.
because like you know, once we figured out how quickly we'd set up and tear down, and all this kind of stuff, how long it would take us to get started, how long it would take us to get off, how long between
Gotcha.
songs,
Now
you kind
speak.
of iron it out. You iron it out over time.
You got to do it to learn it.
Yeah.
Speaking of writing, how's the writing process of you guys? Because every band that I've been talking to, most of the bands, they have kind of similar process. Do you guys start with the music first, lyrics first, melody first? How's your guys' process?
It
Mm,
seems like mostly the guitars come up with stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then we like
mm-hmm.
just kind of throw ideas off each other, and usually we have 2 or 3 different parts, and then Kurt will kind of sit there, and if he's vibing and feeling it, he'll let us know. If he's not, he'll just
Next.
he'll let us know by his displeased
Yeah,
appearance.
yeah.
Uh,
Sometimes he's just not feeling it. But he usually just starts off with yeah, jamming out. Like we have a warm up period at the beginning of every practice essentially.
Right.
That's kind of organic,
I love
and
those,
then
man.
something will hit, and if it sparks something in somebody, then we pursue it until either it dies because it just didn't work out and we weren't able to figure it out, or it turns into something.
Right.
yeah, I mean,
And
come up with like 2 or 3 original ideas typically before every practice. We just
mhm.
not always develop them. It's just you recycle them for
we
parts and like that, things like
yeah, we
that.
have a lot of recordings.
Yes.
A I'd say at this point, I think we might have about 80 recordings
Wow.
of ideas that we've done. And depending on, and each song is different. Like Tightrope on the record took us a few months to write, and Bones took us, I think, what, a week?
A couple of days maybe. Yeah,
Wow.
a
No,
week's worth of practices. Yeah, a couple of days.
When he
just to
flows, he
tighten it
flows.
up, but the basics of it were done, I think, in one practice. So
Right.
2.5 hours.
Well, when he flows, he flows. You just feel the vibe, and it just flows. It's such a spiritual thing, man, that people don't realize how it is, man. Sometimes
Hmm.
it's right there in front of you, and you just grab it and just start writing, and when you see it, it's done. You know,
And you
that's
can't give
super.
up, man. The
No.
elbow grease. You got to put the elbow grease in.
Yes. Yes. Now, you said, let me pull here, share to everybody this. I'm gonna share you guys' last single, "Tied a Rope." Just hang on a second, guys. Let me share here.
Hanging on at the moment.
Hey, Stu, did you ever go to the doctor and get that thing looked at?
Yeah, I shaved everything off and it went away.
Oh,
You
thank
guys
God.
are too
That,
much.
that was pretty easy to get rid of them.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right, hang tight, boys.
That's the good stuff.
I can
hmm.
tell. All right. Nope.
Oh, I didn't really like that hemp cigarette, Ian. It was pretty nasty.
Oh man, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hemp cigarette didn't work out, man. I tried them. Those were disgusting. Those gas station hemp cigarettes are fucking.
Ugh.
I was not happy with those. But there's a place in Tallahassee called like Tallulah.
Yeah.
Tallulah has good stuff as far as like no THC, high CBD. I recommend checking it out. They have ice cream.
Okay.
Ice cream.
So today is the day of the technology. You remember when we got kicked in the ass, three of us at the beginning,
Yeah.
and I'm not be able to share that screen. So
Oh, it's okay.
before we do this, you guys that you're watching, go on YouTube and look for Defy the Tyrant, and the name of the song is Tightrope, right? Is that correct?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Correct.
And you guys read and pay attention to those lyrics, man. That is kick ass, besides the music, which puts the little cherry on top. So I really dig that song, man. I really do, you know. Um, so you mentioned also a label. You guys got signed with Pavement, and you and Ian, you and I we talked about it previously.
Yeah, we talked a
Um,
little bit.
yeah. So how's that going with you guys? If you don't mind sharing.
Oh man,
And we just
stressful.
really, yeah, we really wish we could be on the road. That would
I
solve a
know.
lot of
I know.
Yeah, getting on the road would solve a lot of the
problems.
things. I
But
think
we just have to wait, you know?
I know.
as
It's frustrating,
yeah,
man.
yeah. Stu's got a point. Stu's got being playing shows would fix a lot of the stresses we're having. Um, but
Because we,
it's been a it's been a solid release so far. We just found out we're charting on the college radio stations, which is always a good thing. And we were doing well on the metal charts as well, the independent metal charts.
I saw that
And
one.
yeah, and we're looking at making a push into the mainstream, into Sirius XM as well, and we'll see how that goes. The thing about Sirius XM is they'll play it, but if no one likes it, then it won't get played again.
Next. Yeah.
You get one or two rotations to see
yeah.
what it does.
That would be awesome. I think if you guys get there, people really dig your sound. You know, I don't need to kiss your ass. It's funny because the other day I talked to one of my guitarists, Billy, and he said, "Do you realize that 90% of the songs now on Octane they all sound the same?" I said, "Yes."
Dude,
Yeah.
So you know the drums are getting the same way. The guitars are so similar to each other. You know, it's like I'll say
Can
60% of the bands. You know, you don't
you know?
hear that. Oh my gosh, have you heard that? You know what I mean?
Let's. I'm gonna be candid about that real quick, if you don't mind.
Of course.
So all these big bands that Octane's awesome.
Hmm.
Number one, I think it's the best in the country for hearing new music.
Right.
iHeartRadio is good for top 40s rock, and that's it. You're not going to hear a lot of brand new. This is the new stuff from no, unless they've been charting for 20 years, you're not going to hear it on normal radio.
Right.
But all these bands are starting to fall into a formula where they want to use programmed drums and looped beats and everything's programmed and there's nothing
That,
organic happening.
Right.
And it's not fucking rock and roll, man.
Yeah. It's so predictable. There's no dynamics
Soulless.
anymore. Yes.
None.
mhm.
And it's all mixed to be just flat.
Flat.
There's no like I mean, I rag on bands like the Rolling Stones like I did earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But when
The
you
older
listen to
stuff.
those old, yeah, you listen to that stuff and you can hear that feel,
Right.
Yeah.
and then there's a few bands nowadays where it doesn't sound like that, where a lot of the new the highly suspect
Mm-hmm.
songs that are coming out, um Bad Flower that's coming out, um those two bands in particular, in my opinion, are living and pursuing the actual rock and
Rock
roll
and roll.
lifestyle.
Crowbot.
Yeah, Crowbot, really good. But then you got all these other bands that are just so overly polished and
Yeah.
delivered with this go
It's
sell
hard.
as
Yeah,
many
it's
CDs as
hard to be
possible.
it's hard to be remembered when you're not, standing out as an individual.
Right. I feel like when I started learning how to write, lyrics and vocal melodies, I remember learning the spikes that you have to create some sort of excitement. And I feel like the songs are so now predictable. There's no spikes anymore. There's no, I'm not saying, oh, of course. The majority of them, they're so, like Ian said, flat. And you know what's going to happen in the next
Hmm.
10 seconds. There's no
Uh,
contrast and dynamics. They're like, dun, 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 same, over, peace out, next. You know what I mean? So I think bands like you guys and like Crowbot or Highly Suspect or Royal Blood, I love those guys too.
Yeah,
Two
and
guys.
I, something I think a lot of bands have been doing, and it started back in the day when I first started recording, is this cut and paste culture. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, we got the verse, go ahead and just cut that and put it in the second verse. Oh, we
Right.
got the chorus, just cut and paste that. And I understand, a little bit of things to fix something here and there, fine. You're on a budget, that makes sense. But doing this cut, like when we're in the studio, and Stu will attest to this, we start the song. Now we do tracks
Right.
individually. We don't record obviously in a live room. We can't afford that. It's too damn expensive.
Yes.
So we do one instrument at a time, but we start the song and we play all the way through to the end of the song.
mhm.
That's
That's how we
organic.
Wait.
record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get that live feel as your base, and once you have that, then you build off of that.
Right.
It kind of
Right.
keeps that integrity.
Yeah, and something Stu and I really started doing recently is we're not using our pedals as much as we used to. So to get a clean tone, we're doing everything with the guitars. So you'll hear that little bit of a difference where the first verse is maybe not as clean as the second verse,
Second
but
verse.
that's only because we didn't roll the volume all the way down like we did on the first verse,
Right.
Yeah,
or the tone knob might have moved a little bit. But we like
yeah.
having that stuff in there.
That makes it different. Definitely
It's
stands out.
rocking, it's rock and roll, man.
And
Yeah.
we kept it to a minimum as far as takes, like
Right.
2 takes,
Yeah.
one, two
We
takes.
yeah. We if you can't get it in 2 or 3 takes, then you didn't practice hard enough.
No. You got to go back and go practice, go
Hmm.
practice and get it ready.
Yeah,
Um,
this thing where it takes 50 takes, you're not being a very good musician if that's the case.
no, homework is it has to be on point. Like you guys saying that you practice 2 or 3 times a week when you were, before COVID and everything. And you got to polish and polish and polish it. And then it comes natural,
Mhm.
And
second
I'll
nature.
tell you something that's really disappointing, and I hear a lot of musicians right now because I'm pretty heavily involved with music in Florida and Georgia. A lot of these bands aren't practicing right now.
No.
They're practicing like once or twice a month.
Big
And
mistake.
that's a huge mistake because the second shows start up again, people are going to start booking shows. And these bands that have been practicing like normal, they're going to sound pro next to the people who haven't been practicing at all.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
because
you got to practice, man. You
when
got to practice.
when the doors open, man, it's gonna be crazy. It will be that will be shows everywhere, every weekend, and it's gonna be nuts. Hopefully, 2021.
Exactly.
Hopefully, man. I'm hoping.
So, well, you guys got signed with Pavement, and being a band with being in 3 years, you guys are pushing really hard. We have something in common that we recorded with Brett. The
Hmm.
guys, he speaks very highly of you guys. I had a chance to record a single recently there. And he said, you guys are the real deal. And I said, I know, I saw those guys live, man. So, yeah. So,
He's good people, man.
yes,
He
Brett's
is, man.
awesome.
very creative. His
Can't wait to
creativity
get back
is,
up there.
you know,
God, we need to, man. I've got the itch, man. Like
See
needing
you
a new
soon, buddy.
tattoo.
See
I
you
need to
next
get back in the
time.
studio.
say
Huh?
against too.
What?
I said, Brett, see you soon, buddy. We'll be there before too long.
Yes,
Yeah, if you watch this,
yes,
we're working on it. We're trying to get something set up. Hopefully, in a couple months,
right. Well,
we'll reach out.
you guys are in all the platforms. Besides, of course, YouTube. You guys are on Spotify, Apple, and
Yeah,
Amazon.
Spotify. Yeah, Spotify. We actually we just sold out on Amazon. Our physical seed just sold out on Amazon, so it's going to be a
Get
little bit of a wait.
the hell out of here. You
No,
serious?
yeah,
Woo!
yeah, that happened. We got the news this morning that we sold out on Amazon, and they have to put in another order to start filling in orders on Amazon. So that's pretty nice. And apparently, we're blowing up in Mexico of all places on Spotify. So
Hey,
that's
gotta
kind of nice too.
start somewhere.
Hey, the metal scene in
It's
Central
heavy.
and South America. Look, any place.
I get heavy, man. That's for damn sure.
Look, I grew up listening to, Non-Point, El Nino, Sepultura, and all these bands from South America and Central America and, Cuba and Puerto Rico and Miami. And that that crowd is just so
Into it.
metal.
Yeah, I'm from
So
Brazil. I
metal.
know that, man.
Oh
Mm,
my
yeah.
God. My God. The metal bands from Brazil. Oh,
Yeah,
they're
Sepultura, brother.
set us
of
up a show.
course Sepultura. Fucking oh. All right. Sorry.
Sorry, Stu.
Stu
Oh,
doesn't like Stu doesn't like a beat that sound. He doesn't like the doom da doom da doom da doom.
no,
Yeah, the
I'm sorry.
tribal.
I was like, set us up, man. We'll love to go down to Brazil and rock it out.
Hey, man, if you need a translator, interpreter, let me know. I'll just ride with you guys.
I'll come on down. You got to drive the bus. We don't know how that works down there.
That's easy. That's easy.
Or
Just hide
drive.
your watches. You get out of the bus,
Oh,
hide your watch.
oh yeah. I know. I went to school with a lot of people who were born there, and they told me.
Right.
Yeah,
All
they're
right,
like, it's
boys.
great.
Well, before we wrap this up, I just want to ask everybody to check you guys out. Besides being great musicians, you guys are great people. I had the chance to meet you personally. Hopefully, I have the chance to share the stage again with you guys. Appreciate you driving all the way from Tallahassee to play here in Newport Richey. And I even ask you guys, is it okay, you guys? We don't care. We play everywhere, anywhere possible. And I love that about you guys. So, you guys watching us, make sure you check them out. You will not be disappointed if you like some real good rock and roll. And it's going to be right in your face. And I really appreciate you guys. You taking the time to join me here and, just chat a little bit.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
Regis. This is
appreciate
fun
it,
as
Regan.
fuck.
Absolutely, buddy.
All right, brother. So stay safe, guys. Stay in touch. And soon we'll play together. All right,
Excellent.
brothers.
All right,
Take
buddy.
care,
Be well.
guys. Be good. Thank you.
Stay metal, brother.